What's up, guys? I'm Gumby. Today, I'm going to be reviewing this outhouse. Now, at first glance, I don't want to look at anything because I have to shit really bad. So, no immediate fecal matter. It doesn't smell horrible. It was easy to access. It's yellow. I like yellow. The number 17 is up here somewhere, which is an important number for me. And we're going to test out the... Yes, it is freezing cold. The water is not frozen. What's up, everyone? I'm Gumby, and I am using an outhouse. Right now, we are reviewing an outhouse. I am out in the sticks. It's very cold. I'm going to have to find a way to push you somewhere that won't get me banned if you fall. So we're gonna hope that that stays. I'm just gonna talk, see who pops in the chat. I'll be here for a little bit if anybody has any questions or help with anything. You bunch of know-it-alls. You think you know it all? So I don't know if anyone realized, but TikTok went away for a couple hours, and suicide rates in America spiked. As soon as TikTok turned off, a lot of people killed themselves. More than usual, and the suicide hotline rose in significance. So, you fucking losers. I told you. I told you. YouTube is the best. Everyone's like, get on TikTok. You dare order Gumby to do anything? Who the fuck do you think you are, Pokey? God. Oh my god, I've shit 5 pounds out of my colon. This has been a nice outhouse review. The shit was nice. The cold was nice. We are going to obviously... I'm not a crazy person. Yeehaw! Okay, we're entering the outside. This is where I usually take my dumps. I didn't see a single dog working in there. We're going to talk about... Oh, car coming. Car coming. What are you doing? Where are you going? What are you doing and where are you going? Look at the taillights. Oh my god, I'm gonna freak out because I'm out of delicious fluids. I'm gonna have to use my new and improved heater to get myself through this cold front. You goddamn bunch of Japs. Okay. Now that we have this. Okay. I don't want to be near this window. What if they see me? What if they recognize my greatness too early. Before the evil plan can be finalized. I'm fucking cold. I'm Gumby. I'm Gumby. If there's anything you guys should know before we go, it's that I've been Gumby this whole time, and you didn't know while I was growing. Okay, guys, it's a Gumby stream. Where can we put this? I don't want it to burn, and I don't want it to sound awful. I just want to talk about what happened today, because it was weird. Okay, enough of that. We're back to being Gumby. I don't care if my heater sounds like... Where are you guys anyway? Okay. It's gonna be weird. Okay. I'm gonna turn off this to sacrifice the content. Oh god, I can't do it. It's too cold. I'm gonna pull out my smoke and smoke it. I'm gonna do some smoke. Oh shit, you know what we could do? Okay, we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. Okay. Okay. Now we can do maybe this, maybe this, maybe this. I don't like snowmobilers that have blue lights on their head. We're finna hide before they see me. Are we all going to GumbyCon 2025? Okay. Okay. This is the only way. This is the only way. Okay, we're here. We just have to wait till the snowmobilers leave. They're getting in their truck. We can talk, but I can't shine any light until they leave. But you guys can see this. This was supposed to be Gumby. And it became a little crappy. That's okay. Okay. So, I don't want to push any beliefs you might not be ready for, but in my personal experience, every Sunday for at least the past 3 years that I've been paying attention has been the most beautiful day of the week. It's when the sun is brightest. It's when it's warmest. It's when you wake up first thing in the morning on a Sunday, things just feel the most comfortable. I've noticed that. Every time I've ever had an extremely profound moment where I feel this intimate connection with the universe, it's been on a Sunday morning. Sunday morning, rain is falling. What the fuck was that noise? I'm just waiting for him to leave. So today, I had tons of really crazy dreams. Yep, they've been firing shots off all night. People have been shooting down the road, so those gunshots are triggering as hell. If you a real one, okay. So, I wanted to remind everyone that we only live one life, and that it's very difficult to find the medium between risking it all and running for it, and then settling into a mediocre life that you're not truly happy with. But with the current presidency about to take place, TikTok going down, the wildfires in California, the freeze, we've been freezing to death up here. Many people are freezing in their homes. People are freezing on the street. People are ostracizing homeless people like before the civil rights movement. TikTok's back up for a little while. It was a sort of coagulation effort and conversion effort. That's why when you open TikTok, it said, thanks to the great Donald Trump's amazing efforts, TikTok is now reinstated. And that was because the suicide rate had jumped so high. The suicide hotlines spiked immensely. People that were not ready to get off their TikTok drug, that's designed to be a drug, couldn't take it. TikTok is a drug that was designed to be effective, and it got too many people. So it's reinstated for the time being. But I want to remind people, at least my belief is that it's an interactive experience and not that has some sort of composer. What have I been talking about for the past 3 weeks? I've been talking about that my hometown is at war with each other and my state is at war with homeless people, and that I see them as peons and I try to help them. And also that I was mad that there was a cattle that's just the wind. That there was a guy that was running like a mock news YouTube channel where he'd go out and record the police arresting these homeless people that were committing crimes, and they liked it enough. They liked being on the camera. They were smiling on the camera. They loved being on cops. That I witnessed a couple people doing too much. I saw entrapment. I saw excessive use of force for the entertainment of the community. So a child walked up to me while I was laying in this, and I didn't realize that my tarp had exposed all of my bags. I thought that the tarp had covered it, but it didn't. So everyone can see all my food and clothes and stuff. Because I was hoping people would assume that it was like, like a bunch of, like, this looks like a wagon. So I assume people might think maybe lumber was here. Maybe somebody was rebuilding picnic bench or something, or adding something on, because nobody would be here in the winter. But now everybody saw that it's in fact a bunch of food. And there's a guy here. So a woman and probably her mother or a teacher showed up, like a winter camp or something, because there was a bunch of kids showed up later. But the first two that were here sat right over here, and she said they were just sitting there at first. Then I could feel the energy of her looking over at me. It was Sunday, so it was beautiful today. I could feel it through under this tarp. And she said, "You want to see me do a puppet show?" Because remember, I've been saying that demons are operating people like puppets. So I definitely felt like I was in fear for the first half of this day, because I'm like, the amount of people that was around me picked up immensely, and I had this level of dream that I don't usually have. Those types of dreams have been picking up, and that's when I wake up from those dreams, reality goes crazy. Sort of like I'm too close to phasing out of it, so it's trying desperately to put me back in. And she goes to the other side of this window, further up, or further behind me, and she goes, "Look, this is the world of worms. These are all worm people. And this is what worms do." And then she had the hands go and start hitting each other. And the guy's like, stop hitting me. Why can't we be friends? And then she was like, "This is Wormy News. Here to talk about how Wormtown has gotten so slimy and gross." And then in my head I thought, any Wormtown would be slimy and gross. Worms are slimy and gross. And then she walked back, and then they kept saying the word tree over and over again. They're like, "Look at all these trees. Or remember how many trees used to be here?" And they kept turning their head and saying tree at me. No cap. And then a bunch of kids showed up, and then they walked away. I made some content, and then they came back, and they all looked at me. I could feel them through the tent. They all could feel my vibe, and I could feel theirs. And I was like, I don't know how to act or respond, because I grew up in a world that was different than these kids. I'm still getting used to it. I know teachers are getting in insane amounts of trouble because they're trying to riz the students. And I'm like, maybe they felt this new world energy and they got corrupted. So I'm like, I don't understand how the new world energy is that much. I'm not comfortable in it, because it takes a lot of mental fortitude, and mine's kind of been dulled and destroyed by crows in isolation. So I don't want to come across as a weirdo or anything. I don't know how to talk to people with the new heightened sense of emotional complexity. I can sing and I can make art and I make songs, but then when it comes time to like talk to kids, the way that I used to do it was really funny, and I'd make jokes and everybody thought I was a role model. Now I'm like, I'm 25, I don't know. I've just been out of it for a while. Like, I'm not socially calibrated anymore, and I don't want to come across as a weirdo because I'm fighting off personalities of people that have traumatized me. So sometimes I accidentally come across like the people that I'm trying to block out of my mind, if that makes sense. So a bunch of the kids were laughing at me. I could feel the hatred towards homeless people coming out through the children that their parents had probably instilled in them. Or just like, I don't know, it was just a general vibe of like, what a loser. And then there was a couple of nice kids that were like, "Don't judge anybody. You don't know his life. Don't judge him." And then I could feel them smiling at me through the tarp. They just loving kids. And then that were extremely mature, like old reincarnated people that probably overdosed on drugs in the 70s or something. And then they walked away. And then for about 6 hours, I couldn't even move. Every time that I thought about moving my limb, suddenly there was somebody coughing and stomping around right next to the picnic bench, just standing there. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know why they were here. They would just be walking around. Tons of snowmobiles showed up. Tons of people showed up. And every time I went to even think about moving, somebody would just like be right there. So I froze in place in an uncomfortable position in the cold for 6 hours. And then once it gets to negative degrees, I feel it. I had a voice in my head saying, you're not doing anything wrong. What's the difference between running a heater with the tarp off and then running a heater with the tarp on? You're just sitting at a public park. They have outlets for people to run electronics. You're not doing anything wrong. There's nothing posted that says a time limit. There's nothing posted that says you have to leave at a certain time. You're not doing anything wrong. So I was like, that made me feel better. So I started moving again. I think these kids are having a freezing cold tailgate party now. They're not leaving. So I don't feel bad about turning this on. This is my situation. I had a fork and then I lost a fork, so I'm not able to make my last peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But I have rice, and I have my hands, and I have the end piece, so I can have rice. Let's see what I've got for smoked. But yeah, TikTok is not going to be permanent. Now they're leaving. I've never seen snowmobilers that have blue lights on their helmets, so I don't trust it. Feels like a Back the Blue situation where they're wearing their own merch. Because if they're recording, shouldn't it be like a red light? Okay, I'm Gumby. I'm Gumby and it's getting hard to breathe. I'm gonna hang out with I'm gonna periodically check to see what people are saying. And I'm gonna talk again really quick, the importance of most of this world is designed to destroy the way your body naturally works, and that the world was extremely different not very long ago, and technology has sort of taken it. Most of society was built as ritualistic spell work to take advantage of us as slaves. Most of the world has free healthcare. So the fact that the land of the free doesn't have free healthcare, and most of its population is very proud of that. And they're also living in those people that are so proud of their job and their families and their suburban lifestyle are usually the most depressed people. You look at poor people that take their family picture and everybody's laughing their ass off, smiling, living in a rat den. And then you look at these suburban white people that are in their, and it doesn't have to be white, but just suburban people that live rich. It could be like wealthy people out in Atlanta. I don't know. I don't see those. That's not in my area. But I watched Atlanta by Donald Glover, and he felt it was necessary to highlight the unhappiness in suburban Atlanta. Okay, it's not getting any warmer. Those people are miserable. Even if they seem sophisticated and they might be helpful in the community, something's going on with them so much that their eyes are bugged. That's every suburban white family I've ever seen. And I've never liked their behavior at all. Trying to talk to them is like trying to talk to somebody who's proud to be a bad person and is ready to exercise their fake authority over you because they have loopholes exploited to play a game that you don't want to play. And if you don't like it, you can leave the country. Is basically what they've related to me. I'm not talking about people at the bus station that live in a mobile home. I'm talking about the people that work at programs that are supposed to deal with homeless people that have become so skewed in their way of thinking, like cops and the people at the mental health services, people that work at hospitals, people that work at government organizations and institutions. They're out of their minds, and they think that we're out of our minds because they hold themselves to a standard. And if that standard were right, I don't think that it just sucks because I can see them being so horrible to everyone, and then I can see that the money that they made with their discipline allows them to go down to Costa Rica and party in a resort. It's not fair. I don't know, guys. I want them to be punished. I want karma to come for them. I want them to be humbled and to see the way. I want them to be in a position where people like me and the people that I talk about become in a position where we have to take care of them. And they become like the sad worms on the ground screaming, being kicked. And TikTok had kind of started that ball rolling, where suicide rates and suicide hotline rates skyrocketed immediately after TikTok fell. And these hypocrites were able to recognize their addiction to social media and their low attention spans. Because I'm one of the I'm like in The Walking Dead, the people that survived, because I downloaded TikTok to stalk my exes. To see if they were doing the dances. And then the library that I went to on the way here, it was just me and two girls that were in elementary school, and I was sitting in one side of the room and they were sitting on the opposite side. And one of the girls was like extremely mature, extremely intelligent, talked and acted like somebody that was in college without all the drugs and the heartbreak and all the shit that happens. She was like a good example of somebody, like I would be proud to have her as a daughter or a sister or a friend. And then the other girl was having trouble forming sentences. They were the same age. She was having trouble forming sentences. She was extremely anxious, and she was begging the other girl to do TikTok dances with her. And the other girl was like, I mean, we can. I know how to do the dances, but I don't have TikTok. I've never downloaded it. So I thought that was a sign about why TikTok needs to go. And why your kids should be off it if they're on it. I had a song that I wrote called Indigenous that talked a lot about TikTok that I wrote last year. And I really liked it, but I mean, if I'm being honest, I could have had I think Larry and Derek could have worked together and really got my whole album going, and I could have taught them everything I knew, all the secrets about sound design, but I didn't, because my whole life has been people stealing they liked my style so much, stealing, destroying my own where they not only did they want to become me, they wanted to destroy me and then become me. This is not working. I need like an ice fishing tent or something. It's too cold. It's getting too cold. I didn't figure it out in time. It's okay. Because it won't take long to fix it, but there's just people sitting in the parking lot. The point was diet, exercise, rest, and then cold showers, because warm showers have chemicals that destroy your skin. Your body is an ecosystem. I don't like taking showers because even though it sucks and we're smelly, the bacteria on our skin takes in light, and it's an added layer of our ecosystem. Everything that I went through last year is embedded in my hair, and when my hair is healthy and not washed to death, when I have the oils in my hair, which I can really feel the difference between the front of my hair, which I didn't wash, and the back of my hair, which I did wash. I can feel a difference, like two different realities. I liked being out there in the woods by myself and washing from the river. So to promote that, changing your diet is extremely important as it goes, because we all want to thrive this year. We're tired of it, and the only real way to do that is to be able to not let your external circumstances dictate your internal condition. And in order to do that, you need to be able to be in control of your internal condition. And in order to do that, you can't have a dysfunctional inside. I haven't found the best way. I found tons of different ways, and all of them have bad side or cons. Like locking myself in public housing was great, but I had no connection. It was great for my internal world, where I could live completely inside my body. Living outside was great, but the forest is alive, so I had a lot less control over my electromagnetic spectrum and my emotions, because I was living in an organism. So I had to find a way to cohabitate or cooperate with it, collaborate, whatever coab means. Coab sounds better than anything else. In a car was hard. It was great because I had the opportunity to go out and lay on the ground, but those roads are like wires or like data transfers, where every time I was on the road, it was like I was stuck in a vortex with everyone else on the road, and everybody was all fighting each other, and I could hear the screaming and the pain that people were going through. And most people that stay on the road all day, they get so focused. They can do like really cool stuff with like energy work and manifestations. But that's why people were like pulling up beside my car and passing out in the middle of the road. Like people were following me from town to town to town to town to town, and they would just show up and pass out next to my car, and I could feel them trying to tug at my energy and drive away with it. That happened a lot, where I'd be meditating and then all of a sudden there's like somebody on heroin next to my car, like staring at me like this, and people that weren't, just like normal everyday people that were trying to figure out how to do it, like fat people in trucks, old women, and I'm not sure how much of them might be real, but they would follow me. They would like completely lose track of their ability to function, and they would just be like stuck on me, so that they would like drive around parking lots and drive circles around me and just pull up and stare at me. The cops were swerving their car at me and like speeding by. I would get pulled over once a week, minimum, usually twice a week. And cops were just like slamming on my window and screaming at me through the window. And all I was doing was driving around making music. So I would be singing and I would be meditating while I'm driving. And every single breakthrough that I had in songwriting, where I could feel the music so much better and more vividly than I'd ever done before, was immediately followed in the past by a cop completely losing it and acting like he should go to a mental asylum. Like, if people think my behavior is crazy, you have no idea what I've seen from cops. Creeps, cunts, crows, and crackheads. But now it's hard for me to maintain what I would, because I've been fighting and holding on to a lot that allowed me to do legendary things in the past, like perform to hundreds of people original songs that made them all have euphoria. Pioneering the new world on the front lines. Now it's like I push through for a little bit, and then there's crows, and then there's just, it's heavier. But I know that if I was seriously fasting because depression got me, and I overloaded on McDonald's, I know that if I had taken more time to prioritize my health I would have been a lot more in control. It would have been a lot more traumatizing because I would be experiencing a lot more. And I probably would have been to prison a lot more because every time that I broke through, I was arrested. There was like long con setups where I would get attacked on 11 days because I'd be working every single day to have this big breakthrough, and then I'd have it, and then I was attacked. And from what the general consensus is, it's that the things that we produce, our emotional wealth, our spiritual wealth, our individuality, our growth in character, all this energy, things are working through, like, especially me. I'm sure a lot of you are being worked through in observing me to subconsciously be trying to destroy it. Like, most people are possessed by a force that's operating through their genetics because they don't have the meditations down, they don't have the practice down, they don't have the discipline and all this stuff that it seems the white people that I talk shit about have somewhat more control over, but they still, at least here, they choose to operate in a way that just destroys and gaslights and demeans everyone around them. And that's the game that they play. It's like, can you work through that? And everyone's going to be fighting you for emotional vibes and dominance and character because they want to take all your blessings and add it onto their blessings. That's what I saw. That's why people were always walking around me, stomping, coughing, yelling, getting violent, because I just didn't operate in their world. So the things that subconsciously work on everybody else that's socially conditioned and stuck in the matrix didn't necessarily work on me because I had no idea what the fuck was going on. Because in order for your energy to be stolen, you have to give like subconscious consent, which is why they're constantly programming you. I divert, like I'm like super focused in the manifestation zone where I'm creating myself and enjoying life, and I have like the good connections, so I'm like pumping good vibes again. I take my attention away from my phone spiritually for like a millisecond, and immediately sometimes my phone shuts off and I have to turn back. Sometimes an ad will play, sometimes the phone screen will just go back to the home screen, so I have to go back in and click the app. Even on the stupid Walmart track phone, it's always pulling my attention because it's siphoning my manifestation energy. So I still have a lot of really cool designs. I need I guess I could try to mock it up on a piece of paper. When I try to share it with you guys, it never works. I'm never happy with the product, the end result. It can't be me telling you to make something for me, unless I've already made it and I'm just giving instructions. Because you can't see into my mind, so. But sometimes ChatGPT makes something better than I expected. It's rare. Oh. Hopefully that helps you to reprioritize your life. Because you gotta be eating organic foods. If you haven't been, and I mean like really taking it seriously, don't be narcissistic about it. Hold yourself accountable. I know that I'm not getting the results I want because I'm not doing the things I need to do. I sit here and pray for blessings, but I understand if I don't get them. But I know my own personal strengths. I know if a way opens, I'll go to the end of the earth to get it. I just don't see a way anymore. I see the idea, and I can't. Usually when I saw the idea, I would be able to see and outline all the steps. I would immediately know how to get there, because I would use my mind and my own sense of logic, my personal style, who I am, would be able to create the obvious ways to get there. And now I can't. My mind is deteriorating out here. And it's not schizophrenia, it's probably just lack of use. So while I'm here, because at any moment I can just be like, fuck you guys. What have you done for me? You know what I'm saying? So while I'm here, even though I'm stuck, the message, the symbolism's pretty good, because what I'm talking about is letting the tarp go from under your mind to be able to look up and connect to the stars. Those kids that were in the teachers that kept saying, remember all the trees we used to have? Tree, and like looking over at me. Whether they realized it or not, they were talking about all the people that I had taught. I'm itching my head because I tried to raise my vibration, so all the garbage that's in my brain is getting processed, or something's attaching to the back of my head. I gotta look up what the word Hierophant means, because it's been coming to my head all the time. I know it's Taurus energy. Hierophant is Taurus rising energy. Okay. Basically, you have to evolve from the inside. And it's difficult. But you have to figure out how to do it for yourself. I'm at a point where it feels like I've ascended too far, and now I have trouble living in the world. And I can see where all the people are living at the bottom, where they're condensed in their lower dimensional, more compact realities, and always trying to like tether into me. And it feels like a job is just destroying it all, just to throw myself back into the bottom. But I don't see a way out. The fact that everybody screams about it shows where you guys are at. Because there are kids that are making millions of dollars on the internet with a couple clicks a day. I'm always worried more about what the perfect thing to do in the present moment is. Can't have anything. They're just sitting there watching. Who gives a fuck? mean, some people go snowmobiling at night. Okay. I did find my fork while the light was off. What is Hierophant and Taro, though? No, I dropped the sunflower seed into my orange peach mango juice. Or whatever this is. Sesame seed. It's gonna be too cold to live out here. I can do it. How did I do it last time? I sealed myself in 6 tarps. I don't have any tarps now. It's gonna be tough. Okay. Being alone turns you into the people that you miss the most, from what I've seen. When I try to communicate with you guys, a lot of the time, I'm accidentally channeling the people that I imagine that I'm still with. Or sometimes I pick up on other people's energy so heavily that I don't realize that I'm channeling them. Creamy peanut butter. Frozen peanut butter. A little bit of gumby for today. Nature sees our shit the same way that I see this peanut butter. But yeah, stop eating, exercise, read books, and then watch as like the stuff that you would think the health foods you used to think was gross become extremely delicious and satiating, and overall just a better you have just a better experience in life when you do it that way. And then watch as like the McDonald's burger and all that garbage, like it sickens you to think about the more you do it. And then the best way to get sunlight is to not worry about the outcome. Your expectations block infinity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All day today, the only thing that my algorithm gave me was videos about how I don't owe anything to the people that watched me suffer or left me to die. So like all day today, anytime I wanted to watch a video that's usually like, you're on the right path, keep going, it was, you gotta stop feeling obligated to save people. Because who has saved you? And then when you needed the most, were they there? That's what my algorithm has fed me today. A sort of like forced, suggestive, leave the world behind. Now where? Oh God, oh God. It's cold. It's really cold. Here's my rice. Okay. The one day I didn't want to kill myself, the world wanted to kill themselves. Like American society. Had a huge spike in suicide rates. Usually I'm plagued by suicidal thoughts all day. Side is sealed in. Okay. 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 I needed 31 more watch hours until I'm at the final 1,000 watch hours. Before monetization. And there's my grape. Okay. You have to give yourself, you have to let the cold air come through, but then seal all the sides around the heater. It's almost like the cold air is dragging the rest of the air down. So now that it's sealed, it's warming up. See, now it's fine. Now I feel like I could survive as long as nobody bothers me and I don't leave this tent for days. I guess I could set up the tent. This is my last piece of bread. I'm gonna have to go to that food shelf when it opens and ask for more bread. Just bread, that's all I need is bread. The other bread got moldy because it froze and then thawed and then I didn't eat it. So the moisture got it. Or I might have left it too close to this heater, the last heater. So it was frozen and then I left it next to a heater. So it grew rapidly. Bam. This is better than a McDonald's burger, I think. I don't know, to me it seems like the Hierophant seems like a glowing head. Like a priest with a glowing head. It's ironic because I'm the opposite of that. Oh, it could, I guess commitment. Less adherence to social norms, more commitment. How's everybody doing? How is everyone? 2025 feels like a lot has been cleared. Like sometimes it feels like 2020 is cutting through. We made it through the first quarter of the cycle. From rat to pig. I'm gonna go to like an hour and 10 minutes. I just wanted to see who popped in and what they said. I mean, the churches in that last town, when I first got there, I told them about parasites and fasting and that demons attach through parasites. And I offered to teach a class. I said, if you want, on one Sunday I can come in and talk about it. And they said, no. And I said, we'll get back to you. And they never wanted my phone number or anything. But they have a program there. Once a year, you can get $25 to Price Chopper and $25 in gas. And then at another church, you can go down the road and get $25 in Hannaford's. So they did give me a total of like $50 this year. And last year they gave me $100. It's sort of like if you're homeless and you get trapped in Morrisville, and they give you enough to realize the town is set up against you. I really thought I was gonna get justice. Where? On the southwest corner of the park on the other side of the trees. I think that's where I am. I haven't seen a utility building. Let me turn on my mobile data and I will look with you. They kicked Khabib off of his plane. Khabib Nurmagomedov got kicked off a plane. They attacked him the way they attacked me. I'd be lying in the member scanner. Southern Vermont has a scanner for police activity and events like pile-ups or things that get stuck. Like cars. And I'm in there and I lie. Anytime anything happens, I'm like, I was there, it was me. There was a moose. This is cool. The town of Johnson has a lot of stuff for kids. I'm in the center of Lemoyne County right now. I hate all the hate on the internet. It's retarded. It's a waste of everybody's time and energy. I'm gonna have to delete that shit. I don't even want to engage with them anymore. There's just too many of them. We're talking about 5 cops going to a place, and someone said that's another upstanding location of Brattleboro, so you know nothing good was happening there. I'm like, bitch, do you think the cops show up to eat hot dogs? I'll keep it. We're being prejudiced towards locations now. Look at this fucking guy. No, I'm not. It's not Taylor Patton. No, it's Cameron King. This guy makes me mad. A little bit. I'm not jealous of him. It's more like, fuck this dude. This guy's a micro penis. You can't see him, but he's sort of rat. He looks ratty. He looks like a rat. And he be pulling some bad bitches because he's a welder. He's got welder money. And in school, I don't know, he was like a semi-popular kid. He like did sports. But we know he has Whatever. I mean, she's kind of average. She was kind of average in school. And I'm glad they're happy. What I'm mad about, and they've been dating for a while. No, they're not. This was Jada Henry. Jada Henry? What? I thought he was dating Madison Ford. No, they just look very similar. Okay. That's weird. So she was a sporty girl. I want to see more. He doesn't have the pictures. They must have fought about the pictures. He was dating a girl named Amelia, and she was really hot. And this girl's pretty bad too. And I never understood it. But now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, he's in a biker gang. His dads are a bunch of bikers. That's why. I'm trying to find this other girl. I don't know. Other people's lives are mysterious to me. I don't understand how they were able to go fishing, and they had motorcycles, and they went snowboarding, and they played sports. All I knew is that they were also trying to get with the girls that I was sleeping with. And the girls would show each other their naked pictures. So everybody knew who had a tiny schlong, and they would tell me about it because I'd be like, why are you talking to this guy? This is my profile picture. I'm very proud that it's not what people would deem necessarily attractive, but I'm what people deem necessarily attractive. Like people say that I'm a good-looking guy, and it's got that shoulder right there. You can see my muscles popping out. And I'm going on the rugged story. I'm the rugged guy. Look, I'm in the woods with a gun. Look, I'm outside with a gun. Like a cowboy. Look, I'm wearing a leather jacket. Look, I'm wearing a leather jacket out in the woods. I went through my rugged arc. I used to be homeless and walk around with feathers in my hair. I didn't even know about anything to do with indigenous. The Hierophant. Look at me kissing all these pretty ladies. 1 pretty lady, 2 pretty lady, 3 pretty ladies, 4, 5. And those are the ones that I could fit. There's Heather. And then there's me on South Beach with my childhood hero gaming. There's me as a child sitting on the back of my dad's truck and he's driving me around, standing on the back of my dad's truck. There's my old cat Mark. This is at my foster parents' house where we had a big poster of Africa behind me. They used to put wanted posters up before I knew anything about cowboys and Indians. This is me when I thought I had a brain damage and I was trapped in public housing, isolated by myself. And this is my cat Mark. They used to call me the king of the crazies. They used to call me the king of the crazy people. That's a very Sagittarian Taurus rising, if I ever saw one. And then this picture is why people used to stalk me on the internet. Let me show you, I'm picking my nose. I'm picking my fucking nose. And you can't stop me. Look, this picture had people stalking me and threatening to kill me on the internet. Posting this picture caused me so much trauma. Look how much I went through. It looks like I never fully recovered. Even like the trauma had sort of taken my jawline even. Being outside. How it started versus how it's going. I like this photo. You think this one's good? I like it because it looks like I'm in pain and I've had to suffer immensely, but it also, you can see that I've grown into a man. I've got the dad bod going on. I look more like an adult. Plus it's got the sneaky jawline on the side. People might think I'm a pick-me living in a free motel, and they're not. They're 50% right. I was living in a motel. I like these pictures, man. I don't see why I don't match with girls on Tinder. I don't see why I don't match with girls on Tinder. People like this photo. This photo got me 700 friends on the internet. 700 women accepted my friend request that previously didn't when I friend requested them this. I was like, fuck it. They popped back up in my suggested. And I thought that I needed more people for my army for the time when I eventually mobilized everyone against the evil of the world. That's what that's back when I had a guitar. This was me at prom. I had just had sex with a girl in the bathroom, and she says it. She posted it for my grandparents to see. She said, first off, photo cred. Second, he's thinking, damn, hands down the best bathroom I've ever been in. And then my friend Dakota said, that's not a bathroom. And I said, you don't know that. And he's thinking, damn, I miss my pals. I'll show you a picture of my ex. This is one of my exes. She's a bad thing. There's me. See, even I'm wearing a California shirt right now. Even back then I wore a California shirt. She stole that hoodie from me. But you know what I'm saying? She was a bad thing. And this is the dude that she left me for. And he messaged me like, I took your bitch. And I said, you can have her, bro. But now she has a child with him. And I don't care. It says she's now a cashier at McDonald's. When I dated her, she was on her way to be a model. We were in the gym every day working out. That's not her, that's a different girl. She used to be a good friend of mine. But now she's dating a trans person. Which is unfortunate because I want to sleep with her. This was me when I was young. This was me at 14 before I became homeless. This was me at 13. Before I became homeless. And this was after this was after 1 year of homelessness with my cousin Jesse. That's Christian Slater. This was after 3 years of homelessness when I was 17, and I was at my junior prom. This was 4 years of homelessness. 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. No, this is 8 years. 8 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. 10 years of homelessness. Good night, Jacqueline. Being a hobo. Suffering super trauma.
This is important.
Certain obscure sect of Freemasons. Now, hold on. Our
This is
strategy
Joe
is that all
Rogan.
judges are Masons. There's more to it than that. Like what? Well, there's a secret Masonic word which, when uttered, obligates judges to rule in your favor. Then they have to go paddle each other off in a secret cave somewhere. Mr. James. Come on, Joe, give it up. Tubal Cain. Tubal Cain? Sorry, Tubal Cain? What the hell does that mean? I have no idea. The master builder awaits the pyramids. I beg your pardon?
Master Builder is a 22 life path.
Do you have anything to say in your defense? Tubal Cain? I hereby find in favor of the guy with the
You want to see? Yeah, let me know if you want to see a guy school cop. If you want to see me react to more videos. I experienced more in 1 year of my life than a lot of people do, but not people in the cities. People in the cities experience a lot. I'm gonna watch that one more time. You wanna see Michelle Obama's dick?
This is a good one.
Doesn't she
Please
look
share
like me?
these stories alive. So once when the world was younger, the Raven came and realized that they needed to call a meeting of all the animal nations.
I don't know what tribe that woman is. She looks a lot like me. Like I look more like her than I do to Irish people. When I look up Irish people, I look way more like that indigenous woman. Look at this picture.
So she flew everywhere, making this call.
Looks like me, fam. And that's what Irish people look like. I look more like the native woman than I do to that Irishman. I see what are people talking shit about today?
There's one simple.
Nothing, it's dead. We all moved on. See, so look at this stranger is the first person on my suggested friends list. She's from my hometown. Does that mean she's watching my Facebook? Does that mean she's addicted to Facebook and she's staring at me? She's staring at a picture of my Facebook. I don't know, but I want them. Yup, big one. It was a domestic assault. 5 cops showed up. And every time it's been coming up today, I've been saying it was a moose. There was a moose there. Hey, look, the same garden cart that I have is $50 cheaper. And it's in closer to where I'm headed. Oh, look, a Dodge Dart. That's probably the Dodge Dart that I saw the other day. Blown head gasket, not doing it. Let's look at things I can't afford. What the fuck? It's a moped, motorbike. That's liable to get stolen immediately. There's a Subaru Forester. Five-speed manual. I don't know if I want to deal with that. For $2,000. Manual speed cars are for drunk drivers. And that's it. This is the girl I have a crush on right now. I really like her. She went to college, though. But I'm the first person that pops up on her friends when you look. I have a crush on this woman that probably got slutted out in high school. I really like this girl, but I haven't spoken to her in years. I don't know if she would like me because she has a degree in law and I have a degree in suffering. Which means that I'm way cooler than this guy. This is my ex, the ex I talked about the other day. This is my ex's most recent ex. So he really looks like this, but he's about 5'2", maybe 5'5" at best. Not 5'2", because Kyson has 5'3". He's got to be like 5'4", 5'5". Very buff, huge dude, seemingly a nice guy, drives a nice car. You know, like people would think that that's a good-looking guy. I know he's been with a lot of really good-looking girls. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many likes do you think this got? He got, in a small town where 20 likes is a big deal, he got 100 likes. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with his sister. He's a douche. He went through and then him and my ex broke up, and then he didn't get enough on this photo. So he uploaded his old photo of himself from years ago to try to play the dating game again. And let's see how many of my thirsty girls I grew up in town with liked it. None that matter to me. Yeah, I'm not seeing anyone that matters so far. No, none of them. None of them, and all these people, all of their parents are the people that are screaming at hatred towards homeless people. But you've got some big names in there, like other guys that girls think are very attractive. Like, I never considered them competition. You know what I'm saying? But I remember one time my girlfriend told me she thought this guy was really hot. And I was like, I think he's a douche. I think anyone but me is a douche, and I'm usually right. I've usually got a really good detector or whatever. I don't know. I guess the only thing stopping me is getting really buff. She said, oh wow. It was probably looking to get out of the impeding storm. It's probably buying dope. He's probably buying dope. It's probably buying dope because it wasn't eligible for a room. I'm just gonna say it wasn't eligible for a room. Did you guys hear that crow just caw? Drop some knowledge on him. Everyone manifest a girl messaging me. That isn't. I guess I'm not physically up to bat. I don't have big muscles or a six pack, and I'm not fit at all anymore. I smoke. Two notifications. Adorable baby raccoons for adoption. Tag me in a post. You want to see how fat my mom is? Can my mom block my account quick enough? There she goes. Which one is it going to be, Vicky? She's gone. She took off. This is my mom's profile picture. This is her cover photo. Damn, the guy that I pointed out for not being for being a piece of garbage is posting some racist stuff. See? She thinks I look at these. When I talk about that she's playing a fake narrative to gain sympathy from people, I feel she's spiraling out of control. She posts garbage like this because she's playing the role of the broken savior. That she just can't save me. Now look at these. I want to show you how obese my aunt is. Nope, she can't even show a photo of herself. She's killing herself from food. She's been posting sad porn. She's trying to figure out the reason schizophrenia exists, because she's hell-bent on proving that I have schizophrenia. Even though every single time, see look, every time I've gone into the hospital for 10 years, I never get it. One time I showed up high when I was kidnapped, and they gave me schizophrenia. And they all cowered in their boots when I said, I'm not going to take a medication that destroys my awareness. Look at this. She's threatening me here. Not only is she slandering me, you guys got to message her. Not only is she slandering me she's made up my illness. She's made up my own mental illness. She's on her Facebook slandering me. This is a threat. She's threatening me here with a picture of Trump. Why? And then she posts pictures of aliens because she's a narcissist. I'm gonna have to call the cops on her. This is all to look. It's all to avoid that she's a piece of shit. That's all she is. She's hiding in delusion to avoid that she is someone who never grew up. She has no friends. She's past the point where she can find love. People don't want to be around her. People want to be around me. I like living in my too, because I'm committed to art. I'm just trying to show you guys all the different the schizophrenic stuff she posts, but then she comes through because she has no life. She's attached to mine. She's watching right now. She's been watching the whole time. And she comes on here and slanders me on the internet. Which is a felony, Mom. Even this can be used in court. Because you're trying to perpetuate a narrative. You're trying to convince people that are my family members of something that isn't true. I don't have schizophrenia. And you play this narrative because it makes you feel better about your miserable life. Your boring, miserable, diabetic life. You are so mentally ill, you ate yourself into an illness. And you're out here thinking that you can solve any problem for anybody else. Look at this. It's a gaggle of cunts. I'm ashamed of you, Susie. Hey. Hey, I don't know why we're friends. I don't remember if we've ever met. I noticed you like my mom's posts. My mom's posts about me. I don't have schizophrenia. I once got caught with weed. In Miami. And they sent me to a hospital to avoid jail. I was upfront about my spirituality, and for a week they thought they had me diagnosed. Turns out I was right. Turns out I was right. Now that I have been, should I say in college? What would you call this? Where I study for 5 hours a day for 4 years. Turns out I was right. And diagnosis went away a month later. My mom is a narcissist. She has sat in public housing and ate herself to death. Let's say 8 Ben and Jerry's. Until she had 3 heart attacks. Clinging to her made-up story is how she survives. Off your sympathy. It's getting to the point because she's starting to threaten me. She may be arrested. She may be arrested. Please don't encourage her. And I hope to God Melissa is smart enough that she can come to her senses and not operate off emotion. Yeah. Please don't encourage her. I don't have anything to say to my aunt anymore. Sorry. You can't stop me because it's the truth. Somebody invited me to follow a page. A music producer asked me to follow them. This is the shit that my Facebook gives me. Addie, she might be fat. She is Latina. What the fuck is this content? $3,000 likes. That's all it was. And then they give me bear stuff. My mom is one of those people who will continuously do you wrong forever because she's crying out for help, hoping that you catch her. She's so lonely that she's reaching out to destroy my life the way that she tried to destroy my father's life, hoping that somebody will pay attention to her, sympathize with her, and find a way that she can validate her meaningless, pathetic existence. She uses to justify with saying, I don't need it. I don't need a person in my life. I don't need friends. I don't need people. I don't like them. Oh yeah? Then why do you scream for help on the internet? I'm not shameful. I'm not hiding from it. I ask people for Cash App. I try to provide value. My mom went on a group of thousands and thousands of people and tried to convince them I was schizophrenic. Do you know that 3 days in isolation starts giving you brain damage? If you spend 3 days alone by yourself and you don't talk to God, you develop brain damage. My parents have brain damage. My parents are the most narcissistic idiots I've ever met. My parents are considered disabled, and they don't think that they're disabled. They don't work on changing their life. They lose their mind on Facebook often. They're unrecognizable from when I left them because I was all they had. They're pathetic. Because they have a parasitic relationship with the child. They're parasites. I don't think they've ever messaged me, how are you? Ever. The only time my mom speaks to me is in a desperate attempt to connect with me so that she can continue trying to siphon anything she can. She's a disgrace. And she thought subconsciously that Daddy, Grandpa, was gonna like me and not her, and that I might be invited to the family gatherings. So she had to make up enough drama so the rest of my family would ostracize me the way they ostracized her. Can we get What a miserable cunt in chat. Can we all say Vicky's a cunt in chat? I've been having dreams that she's screaming at me that she's gonna send the police to kill me for weeks. I knew she was on Facebook talking shit about jail time. I could see it. She's afraid of karmic retribution. And it's causing her to hide more and more in her delusions. I've beat all my court cases. She has no reason to threaten me with police. You guys saw on video, she's threatening me with police on the internet. It was also her trying to tell everybody that she could that I was homeless and try to re-strengthen the idea in people's minds that I was schizophrenic. She was trying to attack me. And she really thought that I was gonna... She thinks that I check her Facebook. She posts these things thinking that I, who have her blocked, goes and checks her Facebook. She thinks that I'm obsessed with her or something. That I go to look at my mom's Facebook after I've blocked her for years. I wanted you guys to see how fucking fat she is. What a pathetic loser she is. What a waste of life. I can't go for a hike. It's been 20 years. You've been alone in public housing for 20 years. Jump. It's gonna get you. I hope a stray bullet hits you. I hope a stray bullet hits her. I'll never forgive her. I know there are things that I don't even know she's done that are unforgivable. It's just the type of person she is. Clipped. It's the type of person she is. I already know there are sneaky things she's done that I don't know about. Because she's this disgusting monster that needs to reach in and find new ways to hurt me. She can say she loves me as much as she wants. She's an unaccountable disgrace. She doesn't have the brain power to hold herself accountable for anything. Maybe she deserved the trauma that happened to her. But the world isn't ready for that yet. I'm gonna check the... Okay. I need to check temperature. So I'm gonna go for a second. She's probably trying to craft a defense. She's probably on her phone texting people, trying to post things, getting ready to go on the internet and post things as an attack against me because I said mean things to 3 people on the internet. She needs to hurt me more. Yep, she pinned it. Should we call the police? If you're watching, Mom, this is slander. This is a felony. I'm gonna keep the screenshots. The police said if you do anything else, if you post one more thing about me on the group, you're going to get arrested for a felony. You will go to jail. If anyone messages me anything at all on any of these Facebook groups because you're posting about a disorder that I don't have, that we've told you for years that I don't have. I've gone to therapists for 10 years. You're making up things and you're slandering me on the internet, destroying any potential I could have had to repair relationships with people that I've been working for a long time to fix. And you're happy about it. You love it. It's your entire life. Look, your pinned post is slandering me on your Facebook page. We don't care. We don't like you. We hope you die. I hope you die. I'm done with you. You've never been anything more than this to me. You're sick. You have a disease. You have some type of disorder. It's probably narcissism. You're a guilt-tripping narcissist that does anything she can to put people below her. And when it doesn't work, you laugh it off and you think you're quirky. You're a piece of shit. And I'm going to probably, I might destroy your gravestone so no one ever finds you again. When you die, I'm not going to buy it for you. I guarantee the stuff that I told you to protect, that I have, that I told you to keep safe in your closet until... Guarantee it's probably destroyed somehow. No, I hope she dies. She lost me. She lost me, and then she destroyed my ability to have a relationship with my family. I never had a chance to build a relationship with my family because she took it from me. The first time I could have met my grandparents, anytime I wanted to meet my grandparents, or my aunt, or my cousins, I can't now, because it's been 10 years of her lying to emotionally manipulate my grandfather into sending her money. Come on, say something. Post something. Post something, come on. One more thing. Give me one more thing. Give me one more thing. waiting. Post one more thing about me with fake mental illness, or talking shit about my life choices. She made herself a victim for sympathy. And she's been doing it for decades. And it's all to avoid the mirror. I don't have any love for my family anymore. Because you know them. I know no matter what they do, I've seen who they really are. Sometimes they've sent me money. That's pretty much all they've been good for. Everything else has been what other families would call sick. This is their 15 minutes. Eventually, I'm not gonna I only spoke about them because it came to my head. I don't think about them. The only way that I was able to make myself comfortable with leaving them behind is if I devoted 3 years of my life to trying to find a solution to make their lives better. It's ironic that my mom is posting about these things, like eventually at some point you just have to stop, and that all this shit, because it took me 3 years to come to terms with the fact that my family's never going to change and that they're going to be pieces of shit forever. I devoted 3 years of my life. Every day I thought about them. Every day I prayed to God, and I tried to send down divine inspiration to get my mom to go out and go for a walk in the woods. Get her to commit somehow to eating healthy, and now she has diabetes. It didn't send the full verse. Hold up. Yes, it did. And he could do no mighty work. Yep, you have to leave the nest. And he could. I've definitely healed a lot of sick people with fasting sunlight probiotics, omega-3s, multivitamins, protein shakes, rest, remembering at night when you're in the rested state, channeling your memories through and living them like you're living them in the moment to free yourself from the traumas of before. No, my mom's gonna die alone. She's gonna die alone. She's just gonna wither away. Eventually she'll be too old and she will have missed out on her chance. She'll be crying alone in public housing until she dies. And it took me 3 years to get to a point where I had to give up. I don't care about her. And she realized that, and that's when her attacks got worse. Because I became more aware of how pathetic she is. And I cried out to God in the woods about her, and the birds showed up and surrounded me. And I saw that her punishment for what she did to me will be very fitting. And it sucks because I love her more than she loves me. And she has no idea. Because of their narcissism and their addiction. Their addiction to hiding, addiction to food, addiction to cigarettes, addiction to alcohol, addiction to gossip, addiction to negativity, addiction to hypocrisy, addiction to being a victim, to playing the victim when you're not really the victim. All to avoid real human connection. And I gave up on my mom because she's so obsessed about me. Usually a lot of these people think like the emotional processes they're going through are really just them observing my emotional processes, and because they're jealous, they think it's theirs. So the things that my mom posts targeting at me is almost always what I decided about her months prior. And she's just living in a reflective copy, trapped in her own box. The problem is she keeps committing felonies against me. She slanders me on the internet. Repeated harassment after I've told her to stop. For years. I have years of this, of asking her to stop slandering and harassing me on the internet. And she won't. I've got a good case if I wanted to. Look, more pretty women are looking at my profile. I can hear her bitching in the metaverse. She's trapped in darkness. She still hasn't taken it down. What's today's date? The 20th. That's the 19th. Nobody watches these, they ignore you. Nobody clicks on the things that you share. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing I can do. I spawned from 2 retards. Which caused me to care more about the world. I don't understand how she has no idea what she's done to me. She's lied to the police, and they destroyed my life. And she tried to torture me psychologically for years. How long do you think she can pretend for? When my mom couldn't control me, she tried to destroy my spirit. I had a mom that was in competition with me. And when she couldn't get her way, she would lie and take advantage of her victim complex to gain sympathy from people, to try to gain supporters in her lie, and she would try to use them to attack me. She tried to gaslight the community into attacking me. She sent the police after me for years instead of just messaging me. I don't believe in a God that won't kill her. She needs to die. I'm not going to do it. I don't care. Maybe the punishment is to live alone and suffer. To be a waste of space. I'm good though. I'm happy. I wish that I kept no contact. Like I wish that they had forced no contact when I was 8. Back when I was trying to kill myself to get away from her. It's just pathetic. She sees in me what everyone else sees in her. She was raised Catholic. She doesn't realize it, but she's just as white pride as everyone else. I don't know. I hope she dies. For her sake. Maybe she can come back as an owl or something. I'll shoot. If my mom dies and a snowy owl pops up outside my house, I'm gonna kill it. These are supposed to be the best years of my life, and it was, whether she's ready to admit it or not, she called the cops on me. She called the cops. She got the restraining order and then violated it and then tried to trap me into violating my own order. She put a restraining order on me for behavior that didn't exist. She made it up. And then she would violate that restraining order and have people reach out to me. And then when I'd respond to them reaching out to me, she would call the police and have them violate the conditions. So I would go to jail. She manufactured crimes. She set me up. And I didn't do anything to her. I told her that what she's doing to me makes me so angry. I wish that I could hurt her so she understood how it feels. And I still hope it happens to her. I hope she turns 80 and then all of her bones break and she never heals, so she lives in pain till she dies. I hope she looks back at her life and realizes that she wasted the entire thing being a cunt. I don't know what that means, Heather. How do you think she's going to hurt me this time? What do you think she did to attack her son? I had so much to offer them. I was what they were praying for. The answer to their problems has been accountability and consistency. The answer to my problems is if they get bound and rebuked until they suffocate and disintegrate, and they can no longer have any effect over my life. I don't know, the older I get, the more I realize that, like, they deserve it. And I don't think I deserve it. I think I asked for it. I asked to suffer. Because I wanted to be more than everyone that I saw. I didn't want to be in competition with all these people. I wanted to naturally be more than they are, so that I never had to worry about it again. So now I understand the level of how unfair and cruel the world is, in a way nobody else I know understands, except for random strangers I meet sometimes. And all those people cry and commend me for what I do. I help people. I save people in places where no one can get to them but me. I find people dying freezing on the side of the road. God, please. This is what I do. The only time I'm ever thinking about my mom, I'm begging God to make her stop. Find a way to make her either die or just invert everything she does to me. And look, the guy that tried to rape me at gunpoint is still on her friends list. My dad is still friends with a pedophile. Because my dad is a pathetic loser. And this guy might have passive income. So my dad's like, oh, another man that can save me. Daddy? And this guy's a pedophile. He's openly admitted to me about multiple rapes he's committed against 15-year-old boys. And he showed me his gun, and he showed up at my tent with the gun. In his mind, on the fence, should I rape him at gunpoint? And then finally I was like, yo. And then he ran away, and I said, don't fucking come to my tent again. You fucking creep. And then I had to run him out of town, and he ran away to Tucson, Arizona, because me and a group of kids figured out that he was watching them have sex. He was following kids through Oakledge Park to watch them have sex. And my dad has 37 friends, and one of them is a proud pedophile that my dad thinks he can get money from somehow. What a fucking loser. Look at this dude. Look, he doesn't even know how a camera works. I can't show you his face. He deserved what happened to him. I love my dad. I sit here and feel horrible all the time. I guarantee you I think about how to save my family more than my family thinks about how to save me, or just thinks about me, period. They delude themselves into a fake world, and then they try to hit the community with that fake world. And I'm tired of it. I wish they had died in 2014. I wish I moved far away. They've done too much to me. And they'll maybe when they're old, like dying. Maybe when they're dying, they'll be able to actually take a step back and see how things really went and what they did to me. But right now they're still in their old age retarded narcissists. That's me. I don't know if you realize, but they're stalking me. Thanks, man. I didn't lose. He means my loss. He's sorry about my loss. It's alright. Every time they pop back into the chat, I just talk shit until they leave. They are actual retarded narcissists. They're retards. So I don't know what I want to do. It's 9:25. How cold is it outside? It's snowing. It's 14 degrees. My parents are incompetent, or at least my mom. My dad kind of stopped. But my mom is in competition with me. It's one of the worst things you can have in your life. Because your parents are the people that you're supposed to love the most. And to have a mom that plays these sick, disgusting games where she's always trying to rope you into destroying your own life. This is my mom. Look at that shit. What the fuck? If you can read energy, it's a fucked up person. It's a sick monster. She's an addict. She was addicted to Farmville, addicted to cigarettes, addicted to hiding, addicted to playing the victim. Now she's addicted to television. She's the type of person, you know, we have women that try to bait men into hurting them so that they can play victim. The same way that cops will bait you into resisting so that they can use excessive force on you. That's the game she plays. She's like, how much can I do to you? And I don't know. I thought my aunt was better than that. I thought my family was smarter than that. But I think that I gave them too much credit. I need 30 hours of watch time. And then I need 1,000 hours of watch time. I don't know. I'm just going to pray. I don't want to pray on her downfall, but I pray she gets what she deserves. The only reason I spoke about her at all is because I know that she deep down wants to get recognized and she wants to be a character in a story. She wants to be seen by others. That's the only reason I mention her. Is because at the end of the day, I'm still trying to help her. Good night. I hate you all. I don't like you.